Do you ever wonder why some words linger long after they've been spoken, while others fade into the background, lost to time? It's a curious thing, isn't it? Why do certain phrases stick with us, echoing in our minds for days, weeks, or even years? The answer lies in a quiet, often overlooked moment, the moment just before sleep. As night falls, when the world grows still and the mind prepares to rest, something remarkable happens. The barriers between the conscious and subconscious begin to soften. In this delicate space, we become more vulnerable, more open. It's in this very moment that words have their most profound impact. This is the time when true emotional connections are made, when the things we say echo through the heart long after they're spoken. Now, imagine this. What if I told you that saying just one thing before she falls asleep could make her dream of you forever? What if the words you speak tonight can stay with her, leaving an imprint on her heart that lasts far beyond the night itself? In today's video, we're going to explore the powerful psychology behind this moment, the science of how our minds absorb emotions just before sleep, and how you can use this knowledge to create a deeper bond with her. You'll learn how the right words can linger in her dreams, stirring emotions that could last for a lifetime. So stay with us until the end, because what you're about to discover might just change the way you think about the words you say before bed. Welcome to NeuroVista, where we dive deep into the psychology of relationships and emotional connections. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join us as we explore the fascinating science of the mind. As the day fades and the world grows quieter, something remarkable begins to unfold within the mind. The body relaxes, the heart slows, and sleep approaches. But it is in these final moments before rest that the mind becomes especially receptive. It is as if the barriers between the conscious and the subconscious begin to soften, allowing emotions to seep in more deeply. In these delicate hours, the mind enters a state of heightened sensitivity. The brain shifts from its usual patterns into a rhythm known as theta waves. These waves are subtle, yet powerful, slow and gentle. They allow for a deeper connection to the emotional realms of the mind. Think of theta waves as a gateway, a passage that opens the mind to impressions that will remain long after the night ends. It's here, in this state of calm, where words, feelings, and memories are absorbed more deeply than at any other time. What's most fascinating is that the mind at rest does not merely drift into nothingness, it absorbs everything. A kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or a heartfelt confession can enter the subconscious and stay there, tucked away in the heart. These emotions, once planted, grow roots in the quiet corners of the mind, influencing how she feels, how she remembers, and how she dreams. So consider this. What if you could control what she dreams about, just by saying the right thing? What if the words you whisper just before sleep could find their way into her subconscious, leaving a lasting imprint that would carry through the night? The power of these impressions is subtle, but profound. Emotions felt in these moments aren't fleeting, they linger, echoing through the rest of the day, influencing thoughts, actions, and feelings in ways you may never fully realize. In this space, words hold more weight. They are not merely sounds or fleeting thoughts. They become anchors to the emotions she will carry with her as she drifts into sleep. And these emotions, absorbed in the stillness of the night, can last long after the body has rested. It is in this quiet power that the deepest connections are made. Not all words carry the same weight, especially when the world quiets down and sleep is near. As the body relaxes and the mind drifts into the delicate space between wakefulness and rest, the words you speak can resonate in ways that go beyond the surface. In these moments, when the subconscious is more open and impressionable, the words you choose are not merely sounds, they are emotional triggers. What is it about certain words that leave a deeper mark on the heart? Why is it that some phrases seem to linger long after they've been spoken, while others are forgotten almost instantly? It's not just the words themselves, but the emotion behind them that makes all the difference. Words spoken with vulnerability, with warmth, and with genuine intention have the power to anchor themselves in her subconscious. They reach deeper, burrowing into the emotional fabric of her being, where they will remain long after the night has passed. The vulnerability in your words, especially at bedtime, carries immense power. In this quiet moment, where defenses are down and trust is at its highest, the words you share can form a connection that's not easily undone. When you speak with openness, with honesty, you create an emotional anchor that ties her to you, embedding your words in her heart. Similarly, warmth can transform simple phrases into lasting memories. A kind, affectionate tone carries a softness that the mind receives with gratitude, wrapping itself around the heart in ways that louder, harsher words cannot. This warmth, paired with intention, can act as a silent promise, one that doesn't need to be spoken aloud, but is felt just as deeply. The significance of this is profound. What you say just before sleep matters more than you might realize. The intent behind your words, whether it's love, care, or comfort, fills the space between you both in a way that lingers in the subconscious, waiting to be felt in dreams. It is in these tender exchanges that emotional bonds are deepened, not by grand gestures, but by simple, meaningful words shared in the quiet of the night. There is something uniquely powerful about vulnerability, especially when shared at the close of the day. As the body drifts toward rest, the mind opens, and the heart softens. This is the moment when emotional closeness isn't just desirable, it's vital. It's in the stillness of bedtime that emotional walls crumble, and the rawest, most honest parts of ourselves come to the surface. Here, in this space, vulnerability holds the power to bind two hearts together. When you speak from a place of true emotion, without pretense, without masks, your words are no longer just sounds. They become bridges, connecting you to her in ways that are felt deeply beyond the reach of simple conversation. In these moments, vulnerability does not make you weak. It makes you real, and this authenticity invites a deeper emotional bond. It's not about grand gestures or flashy declarations. It's the quiet, sincere moments that create the strongest ties. Whispered words or soft, intimate expressions. These things resonate more profoundly than any bold statement ever could. There is an inherent power in softness, in the way a whisper caresses the ears, or the way a simple phrase, said with feeling, lingers in the air. These tender exchanges, in their subtlety, trigger deeper emotional responses than loud or overly dramatic declarations ever will. They carry weight, not in their volume, but in their truth. The deeper your connection in this fragile moment, the more she will carry you with her into her dreams. Your words won't simply fade into the night. They will be woven into the fabric of her emotions, traveling with her as she sleeps. She will wake with the echoes of your sincerity, your care, your truth, and that connection will remain undisturbed as the day unfolds. And perhaps, just perhaps, there is one phrase that will unlock this bond. A simple, yet profoundly powerful statement that will stay with her, carried through the night. It is in these words, shared with intention and heart, where the truest emotional connections are born. You might think it's as simple as saying, "I love you," but it's not. These three words, though powerful, have become so familiar that they often lose their ability to penetrate deep into the heart. The true magic of emotional connection lies not in the simplicity of a phrase, but in the intention behind it and the emotion it carries. There is something more at play in the words we speak, especially in those tender moments before sleep. The subconscious is a vast, silent recorder, absorbing the smallest gestures, the softest whispers. These moments, when the walls of the day are down and the mind is open, offer a unique opportunity to leave an imprint that will last long after the night ends. Here lies the concept of emotional anchoring. A single phrase, spoken at the right moment, can attach itself to her subconscious and become a powerful, enduring memory. This phrase doesn't need to be flashy or complex. It simply needs to evoke a feeling, a deep sense of connection. Now, picture this. Instead of just saying, "I love you," consider saying something like, "I'm so grateful you're in my life." There's a quiet strength in this statement, a depth that "I love you" may not always reach. Why? Because it does more than acknowledge affection. It triggers a sense of appreciation. It's a reminder of her worth, of the value she brings to your world. And when she hears these words, they don't just land as compliments. They create a sense of gratitude that resonates far deeper than love alone ever could. This subtle shift in phrasing creates an emotional anchor. It's not just a fleeting sentiment. It becomes a reminder of how you feel about her in a way that is profound and lasting. When she carries these words with her into the night, they are imprinted on her subconscious, embedding themselves in her heart, ready to be recalled the moment she wakes. Words spoken with meaning have the power to shape how we remember others and how they feel about us. Timing, as they say, is everything. And there is no more powerful moment than the space just before sleep. In the quiet, the world slows, and the mind enters a state of receptivity unlike any other time of day. This is when the subconscious becomes more open, more impressionable, and more willing to absorb what you say. When words are spoken in this moment, they are not just heard, they are received deeply, etched into the very fabric of the mind. The science behind this is fascinating. As the body prepares for rest, the brain slows down, transitioning into a theta wave state. These brain waves are linked to deep relaxation, creativity, and emotional openness. It's a window of vulnerability where the rational mind steps back, allowing deeper emotions and impressions to take root. The subconscious is awake and active, quietly recording everything it hears and feels. This is the moment when your words, spoken with intention and care, have the most profound impact. The right phrase at the right time can plant a seed that will grow into something much bigger than just a conversation. It can create an emotional connection that lingers far beyond the night. Daytime words, no matter how thoughtful, don't have the same effect. The mind is cluttered then, busy with distractions and external stimuli. But at bedtime, when the world quiets and the heart softens, words take on a deeper, more lasting significance. This is when you plant the seed that will grow into something much bigger than just a conversation. It's a lasting emotional connection. What you say here doesn't just pass through the moment, it settles in, becoming a part of her heart, tied to her thoughts, and carried with her as she sleeps. These are the words that linger, the ones she will remember when she wakes, not because of their grandiosity, but because of their sincerity and their perfect timing. There's a subtle yet profound truth that must be understood. This technique, this power of words, only works if the words are real, if they come from the heart. There is no room for manipulation, no space for insincerity. If your intention is not pure, if you are simply trying to get something from the moment, then the words will fail to have the desired effect. They will not settle in her heart the way they should. They will not become the anchor you hope for them to be. Authenticity is the key to everything. It's not just about the right phrase at the right time. It's about the truth behind the words. When you speak with genuine emotion, when your words mirror the feelings inside you, they carry a weight, a depth that words without emotion can never achieve. The strength of a connection lies not in the magnitude of what you say, but in the truth that resides within it. Think about it. When you speak from a place of vulnerability, when you let your words reflect your true feelings, they are no longer just sounds in the air. They become something far more meaningful. They become a reflection of your authentic self, and that is what truly resonates. This is why the phrase you choose has the power to build a lasting emotional bond. It is not the words themselves, but the genuine emotion behind them that creates the connection. This moment isn't about saying something because you think it will make her feel a certain way. It's about saying something because it reflects how you truly feel. And in that feeling, In that authenticity lies the real magic. When your words come from a place of sincerity, they reach deeper than you can imagine. They don't just pass through her ears, they settle in her heart, creating a bond that's founded on truth and trust. As the day fades and the world quiets, there's a simple yet powerful question to consider. What do you want her to feel in her heart when she closes her eyes tonight? In those final moments before sleep, when the veil between reality and dreams is thinnest, your words carry more weight than you may realize. The vulnerability in her heart, the openness of her mind, this is the moment that you can make a lasting impression. Remember, the words you speak when her defenses are low, when her guard is down, can be the ones she carries with her long after the night ends. They can echo in her heart and weave their way into her dreams, building a connection that lasts far beyond just a conversation. These aren't just fleeting words. They're emotional anchors, shaping how she feels about you and how she feels about herself every time she thinks of the bond you share. If this insight resonated with you, and if you're ready to dive deeper into the powerful world of emotional connection and psychology, make sure to subscribe to NeuroVista. This is where we unlock the hidden truths of human relationships, exploring the science, the emotion, and the power behind every word. And don't forget, like this video if it made you rethink how powerful your words can be. Subscribe and join a community committed to understanding the subtle yet transformative forces that guide our emotional connections. NeuroVista is where real change happens. Will you be part of it?